Welcome to my Lyrilusc deck profile. I'm making this for two reasons. One, because I believe that for the one-turn kill version, this is probably the best setup that you can probably go for, and probably one of the most affordable. This deck isn't very expensive to begin with, but it still is probably the best option in terms for consistency and to not brick, as well as not being too expensive, and also because some people on Reddit after a post I made asked for a deck profile, and so I decided to make this. So we start out with three Lyrilusc turquoise warblers. So these are your combo starters. These are really good. I'm just gonna go through the cards, and then later I will say exactly why they're good and my reasoning for putting them in the deck. So three turquoise warblers, three Lyrilusc cobalt sparrows. Let me just separate that. Three Lyrilusc sapphire swallows. Three raidraptor lanius. Three raidraptor strix. Three last thorns. Or sorry, not last thorns. Evil thorns. Three maxx. One maxx. Two pots of desires. Three instant fusions. Three stoic challenges. Three psychic blades. Three where arf thous. Two twin twisters. Foolish burial. 1-for-1. And three polymerizations. Alright, so now that you know the cards, let me get right into the reasoning for each one. So first, let's talk about the three archetype cards. So the archetype cards are really important. So turquoise warbler is your combo starter. Special summons from the hand. I'd probably compare it to like Terror Top for Lyriluscs, basically. Really easy to summon. You control no monsters, special summon from hand, and special summon another Lyrilusc from your hand if one is available. And so it's a great combo starter, great to get out Cobalt Sparrow and be able to use Cobalt Sparrow's effect to add yet another Lyrilusc to your hand, which could be used to get Sapphire Swallow, and if you have any kind of winged beast in your hand, and you probably should, unless you have all Chalice like spell cards, then you should be able to get at least this one and one more monster onto the field. Really good combos there. Really good stuff to start out with there. Cobalt Sparrow, really good. The effect is super strong of being able to not only add a card to your hand from being special summoned, and it's also special summoned from anywhere, not just from your hand. If it's special summoned from the deck or graveyard, you could use its effect. And also, if it is used as an XYZ material, then the monster that has it equipped cannot be used as a cannot be targeted with card effects, or cannot be destroyed, cannot be targeted with card effects. So that's very helpful. Really easy to get people to destroy their own things. Maybe they activate something to try and target, or an effect that does not target, but they can choose a card in the field. They activate it, say like Trident activates its effect, and then they have to choose something on the field to destroy, but they cannot target your XYZ monster that has this equipped because they just simply can't. And last but not least, Sapphire Swallow. Really great card to extend the combos because of the way she can use any kind of winged beast in the deck. And since all the other monsters are winged beasts except Evil Thorn, which I'm thinking of maybe switching out for King Cabillo, but I'll go to that in a second. Really good. Just all three of these are necessary for the deck, or else it just does not function at all as a It's not even a Lyrilusc deck without them. So let's put that back. So we'll talk about these as well in a group. So Lyrilusc Strix and Raidraptor Strix and lanius. So Pain Lanius is really kind of a way to extend the combos as well if you have nothing to do really. It's actually also an easy way if you have both of them in your hand. Really good way to get Recite Starling, and Recite Starling will allow you to maybe extend the combo. If it'll allow you to search a much needed card that you didn't have before to extend the combo. It's a little harder to do that now with link summoning, but it's still doable. I feel like Recite Starling is more of an actual dual version of the deck. I like to think of it as a multi-turn version of the deck because Recite Starling takes multiple turns to be effective. And so if you need to wait a turn to actually use Recite Starling's effect, like use it and then wait for the next turn to actually draw another card and see if something will be useful, well then I feel like you've already lost, especially with this version. With this version, it's either do or die. Second turn, do or die. You just finish them off or you lose. And so this one is your moneymaker right here. This guy, if you have nothing else in your hand but this guy, and you have no kind of combos, he could save your life. What he can do is he is a 1-card combo for a number 77 7 cents. Use him, use his effect, tribute to bring out Raidraptor Ultimate Falcon, and from that you go into a number 77 7 cents, and you have a 4K beater that can delay its death one time by detaching an XYZ material. And so that's really good. And so it saved me tons of times where I get absolutely no kind of combo to go into my XYZ for Lyrilusc, and I'm able to get that out, and it'll keep me alive for a turn or two, and I'll be able to draw the cards necessary to finish them off. So Pain Lanius is basically to extend the combo just a little further if need be, and this guy does the same, but can also be a lifesaver in situations where you have no kind of combo into your Lyrilusc, what is it? Oh, shoot. Assembled Nightingale. Next, Evil Thorn. So I have a love-hate relationship with these, especially because I run 2 Pot of Desires in this deck. So you summon 1, tribute it, and you summon 2 in its place. Really risky when you want to use your Pot of Desires, because let's say you have a pretty good hand and you have this in your hand. So that's not the only reason. So you have this in your hand, you have Pot of Desires, no really good combos, and you have a chance at getting a good combo if you use Pot of Desires. You also have a chance at banishing either 1 or 2 of the other Evil Thorns that might be in your deck. And they might not even be in your deck, they might be in your hand, and that is another reason why I don't like Evil Thorn too much, because you might have 2 Evil Thorns in your hand, and that's never a good idea, because they can only special summon each other out from the deck, not from the graveyard. I'm thinking of switching it with Kinkabio, just because of the way you can normal summon and then special summon from the graveyard, which would be a really good combo with Cobalt Sparrow, because that will allow you to search the deck for any kind of winged beast monster. Maxx, self-explanatory, and that's it for the monsters. Next up, spells. We have Pot of Desires. That's also really, really simple thing. I don't have to explain it too much. It's just consistency. I feel like without this, the deck was still doing okay, but this really seals it off and make it so you rarely brick. I used to brick every once in a while, kind of often without these, but after I put these in, I have had no troubles, and pretty much every time I'm able to get out a really nice either like 5-stack or 4-stack of like 5 material or 4 material Lyrilusc Assembled Nightingale. Next up, Instant Fusions. Instant Fusions are really nice because for 2 reasons. This is what I like it for. Is Instant Fusions allow you to get these 2 out. These are the only 2 fusions that I run in the extra deck. The of course the Lyrilusc Independent Nightingale, and Thousand Eyes Restrict. Thousand Eyes Restrict is basically a way to get just another level 1 monster on the field, also as a removal. Let's say they have something that can be targeted but cannot be destroyed by card effects or something like that. You can simply summon and take control of that and then destroy it because you're about to use this as XYZ material. So then it goes to the grave, sends that card that this Thousand Eyes District had as material to the graveyard, and so easy removal. You can use this in a situation such as you have no way to special summon a card onto the field, but you have what is it? You have what's her name? You have Sapphire Swallow in your hand and another bird, but you don't have a third one. And so, yeah, let's say you have both Cobalt Sparrow and Sapphire Swallow in your hand, but you don't have any kind of other winged beast, so you don't want to normal summon one of these just so you could go more into the combo. So you special summon using Instant Fusion her, which is a winged beast, and that's when you go into these two using Sapphire Swallow's effect, and that's a really good little combo there. These I'm going to talk in a group as well. These are basically just buff cards, Psychic Blade and Stoic Challenge. Psychic Blade is absolutely the better version. It's the stronger and less risky version of Stoic Challenge. Psychic Blade, you pay life points and in multiples of 100, and you can go up to 2,000, and that's how much attack your monster gets. So you can give your four material or 3 material assembled nightingale up to 2,000 attack. And so let's say it has 3 materials. That's 600 attack, and it can attack 3 times. Plus 2,000, that's 2,600. 2,600 times 3, that would be 7,200. You could get them down to 7,000. You could get them down to 800 life points with the 3 material nightingale and one of these. So that's pretty strong. And if you can't finish them off, you could actually use independent assembled nightingale's effect to delay its destruction by 1 turn by activating its effect. Stoic Challenge. I have a love-hate relationship with this. One, it could boost your attack so high with not that many materials. It's really effective after 3 because at 4 and 5 it can end game. I believe, I'm pretty sure, 600 times 4, 2,400, 2,400, 3,200. Yeah, 3,200 attack at level with 4 materials, and I'm pretty sure 400 attack with 4,000 attack with 5 materials. So either of those is just going to instantly win you the game. But the thing is, if this card is destroyed, you must destroy the monster that has this equipped. Let's say you activate it, the Twin Twisters. Then you also have to destroy the monster that you had equipped it to, and all your hard work going for that large material assembled nightingale goes to waste. And so that's why I really hope I always get Psychic Blade in my hand instead of Stoic Challenge. But it's still a really good card. Where Art Thou is really simple, kind of a risky move. The whole deck is really risky. You take 3,000 damage, so it really won't matter anyways, because if you aren't able to kill them in 1 turn, you probably aren't going to win the duel. So this basically allows you to search for another level 1 monster in your deck and add it to your hand if you have one already on the field. And so it's a really good card, and so just be careful that you don't use it too much, because I remember one time I did Psychic Blade, paid the 2,000, Where Art Thou 3 times, I believe. I think I did get all 3 Where Art Thou's in my hand. Or no, it was just 2. And they activated a 1 Day of Peace. I had totally forgotten that they activated that, and I tried going for endgame. No damage was done. I took my 3,000 damage from each card at the... Oh! Wait, you know what? I just realized I could have won that duel. Wow. What a fool am I. Never mind, I'm not going to continue that story because I just realized that made me look like a fool. Twin Twisters. That's back row is your biggest enemy with this deck. You're about to summon your 6 material assembled Nightingale, because you could actually go for 5 materials on the board plus the effect of Sapphire Swallow. You could add from the graveyard to the XYZ monster as a material, and so you could have a 6 material. You're about to get your 6 material, boom, solemn warning, or solemn something, and it's gone. And it's the worst feeling in the world. So don't let that happen to you. Get some Twin Twisters. Actually, Cosmic Cyclone. Cosmic Cyclone would be a lot better. Now that they released the reprint, it's a lot cheaper and it's a lot better because discarding is not very good in this deck. Foolish Burial, that is really good. Let's say you have your Lyrilusc turquoise warbler, and you have no other Lyrilusc monster in your hand. You activate Foolish Burial, send Cobalt Sparrow to the graveyard, now activate Turquoise Warbler's effect, special summon from the hand, then special summon Cobalt Sparrow from the graveyard, activate Cobalt Sparrow's effect, add another Lyrilusc or Winged Beast monster to your hand, and now you're going into a really nice combo and you can finish the game. 1 for 1, sort of the same idea as Foolish Burial, but it's even better because what happens is, one really good combo I like to do is, let's say you have Cobalt Sparrow and you have Cobalt Sparrow and you have Sapphire Swallow. You send Cobalt Sparrow to the graveyard, you special summon another Cobalt Sparrow from your deck, use Cobalt Sparrow's effect to add to your hand some kind of a Lyrilusc monster, or just any winged beast, and then you use Sapphire Swallow effect, who's in your hand, to special summon itself and the new monster. You have them on the field, and then once you go into the XYZ, now you have 4 materials, because it seems like you only had 3, but because of Cobalt Sparrow's effect, you could add that 1 Cobalt Sparrow that you threw to the graveyard using 1 for 1 as material. Now you have an easy 4, and if you had some kind of a monster you could have normal summoned, let's say you had Evil Thorn in your hand, now that's a 5 material real easily. Polymerization. I love polymerization, but it's a little hard to work around because of the necessary things for this card. This card is a beast. Cannot be affected by card effects at all. It's kind of like the legendary Exodia Incarnate, that one card that gains attack for each Exodia piece in the graveyard. And so it cannot be affected at all. You could get it to be like up to a 4,500 beat stick, or even higher a little bit, I think, if you play it well enough, but I don't think so. I've never been able to do that. To 5,000, yeah, you can get up to 4,500, which is not too difficult. But the thing is, you must have a Lyrilusc monster in your hand. It can't just be any winged beast in your hand. So that makes it a little harder to play around. It makes it, and I understand why they would do that because it's amazing. It's already level 1. It gains 500 attack for each level. So in reality, it's actually always at 1,500 attack, because it has 1,000 attack, but plus it's level 500. So that's 1,500. For every material that was on the XYZ used, it gains another 500. So let's say you have a 5 material, it becomes level 6. 6 times 5, that's 3,000. You now have a 4,000 attack, beater that cannot be destroyed by battle. And also, every one of your turns, you can burn your opponent for 3,000 damage. That is absolutely huge and insane, and I love it. So with this deck, it's really easy to go you're slowly going to die with my cards burn, or you could go for the one-shot kill, one-turn kill, for the second turn of the duel, which would be your first turn. Now, really quick, into the side deck. Not very big, not much to show you. I simply run 3 independent Nightingales, because with True Dracos, like True Draco Dinos and stuff, or just True Dracos in general, I don't want them to be banishing these from my extra deck in case they use Lithogasm, whatever people call it. I'm pretty sure it's Lithogasm. I don't want them banishing the only one in the deck, so I just run 3 just in case. Thousand Eyes Restrict, showed you that earlier. I just run 1 of it. 3 of the Lyrilusc assembled nightingales, same idea as the independent nightingale. I don't want it to get banished, the only copy of it. Sylvan Princess Sprite, I used to run it, but now I don't with link format because, I mean, it's like whatever. And then Ultimate Falcon and Raidraptor. Raidraptor, Ultimate Falcon, and 7 Sins. This is the 1-card combo into the 7 Sins 4K beater, which is really good. That's basically it. Not much else to show in this deck. It's not too complicated or too expensive. I'd say in total, in fact, actually, it's a lot cheaper now because of the reprints of Pot of Desires. So in reality, it should be a lot cheaper. Now, these were like $25 each. But now, I'd say the total deck is probably about maybe 30. It's not too bad. No, even less maybe, because the only really expensive card is maybe 1-for-1, and maxx, and even maxx you could get it for really cheap now. So it's really not that bad of a deck. It performs really well. I've beaten tons of Zodiacs whenever they were actually a lot better. I've beaten some of the Spiral decks when Spiral was first becoming really well back in August. I went to Comic-Con and had a blast going against this guy who had a really nice Spirals deck, and I had so much fun going against it. It definitely can hold its own. Definitely a great deck, and I highly recommend it to anyone wants to play it. I don't see it going to YCS anytime soon, but I definitely think this is probably the best version of the OTK Lyrilusc. There's probably better versions for the multi-turn, where you slowly drag it on and kill them with multiple assembled nightingales with direct attacks. But in terms of the 1-turn kill, I believe this is the best. I've talked to so many people about this. I've talked to other Lyrilusc players, and they say that this is some of the best, one of the best they've seen. That it breaks the least, it has the most combos, and does a really good job. So I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and I hope this really helps you guys out, and I really encourage you guys to try out the deck because it's not too expensive and it's also tons of fun to play. So thank you for watching.